So it's all talk, and there's no action. So traitorous actions are happening, and I think the traitors are going to start to be held accountable here pretty soon. But in the meantime, we have to work together, call the stuff out, and expose it, and get whoever we can get in the political realm, or the business realm, or wherever, whatever realm will start to affect change, to get them moving in the right direction. Now, if you look at New York getting ready to pretty much put in someone that is not going to serve the best interests of New Yorkers, and for that matter, the rest of the country, because if one criminal gets into political power, that will cause a domino effect, and other people will gain political power because some other criminal has gained power. So we're starting to see that. We've seen that for a long time. The Biden administration, the Obama administration, both of those are criminal enterprises that cause a lot of damage in America. President Trump stepped in, uh, you know, 8 years ago and started to fix that problem, but he had the whole system against him. This time, after that, in the background, now we have him, firmly in charge and firmly doing a lot of things, and putting people in place that can make a difference. So, New York Times addresses backlash over report on New York City mayoral candidate Mamdani's college application. Now, the way they got this information was because there was, I guess, somebody came in and hacked the system and released information on Mamdani, right? So he said when he did a 2009 college application at Columbia University that he was Asian, but also Black or African American, which I'm sure that box, right? They intervened. She got away. He pushed him off, grabbed her again. She's screaming for her mom. And these men start getting a little bit more aggressive with this guy. One guy trips him when he tries to grab her again, and he goes down, and he's fighting them, and then they start to fight him, and it's a battle royale. So you see her right there. It's a woman. She's got a white top on, and she's screaming for her mom. Like, wow. It's like one guy even takes a stick to him. So here you see him. He's rolling around, getting up. I don't know what kind of hat he's got on. It looks like some kind of Shriner hat or something. They basically prevail. The police come. They get this guy. So there was a stop, help from a 20-year-old woman can be heard yelling as a group of onlookers quickly surrounds him and demands that he let her go. So it basically, ends up to a free-for-all. As you see here, this man's trying to grab her.
Francis Coppola.
And police said she suffered shoulder pain and minor injuries.
Now is fourth-generation farmer Andrew Limegruber.
So let me
thanks for joining us. And good morning.
Let me just close it out because there's like all this other stuff wants to come up. So basically, she suffered injuries, and he was arrested and came up on charges, right? But you see this particular guy doing that in front of everybody. He's the average guy. But you see P. Diddy, who kicked and beat his girlfriend and it's on video, and he gets off. He's getting off, right? So it is amazing that we're seeing, the ordinary people, you and I, get charged, get put in prison if we do bad, which we should be. But we see far more criminal activity and evil that's going on in our political class and in some of these, like George Soros and others like him. They get away with pretty close to murder. And in many cases, they do, but it's covered up. Right. So this is something Diddy is above the law. I know. Is he? It looks like it. Looks like he's like 3 of those charges they had him on that he would have been put away forever have been dropped. And the other ones, he may get off with lower charges on the other 2. So, yeah, I don't know. You tell me. Is P. Diddy above the law? I don't think he is. But it looks like the criminals in New York believe he is, in Manhattan, because that judge there is letting him get off on a lot of these charges. All right. So, it's going to keep going. But there is history being made in New York. So New York, on the good side, so New York had no shootings or murders on July 4th. At least that's what they're reporting right now. Who knows? Maybe they'll change. But as of right now, it's the first time in history, I think, probably even before New York was even formed, it's 0 shootings or murders in New York City on the 4th of July. The last time in recorded history that happened was never. So who knows? There was a lot of police that were out, and you have citizens like that, involved citizens, which we need more of, obviously. And you see a turnaround. You see history being made. This can happen, guys. We can have history that can be made across the country. But we have to have good people in positions that can rise up and make these changes. As of right now, we don't really have good people in positions that could rise up in New York. We have Mayor Adams that's there now. Possibly, he could go forward. He seems to have been doing a fairly good job, and he started backing Trump and some of his wordings, and so they started attacking him. And now he's in an independent party. The Republican candidate has no shot at it whatsoever, and because the Democrats always vote Democrat, we just may see this communist come into power there in New York as a mayor. All right. But the people are still doing the right thing. They're starting to push back. Who knows? Maybe it'll be different in New York. I don't see it, but it's possible. I like to bring up the positive side, right? There's always a possibility. All right. As of right now, at least 27 people are dead in Texas floods as the search continues for many missing. So this is very tragic. It was very destructive. Fast-moving waters rose 26 feet in just 45 minutes. It was like a dam burst or something. No, it was just water that fell at that level. And that in July 4th, early in the morning, while people are still sleeping, and this massive downpour comes down, and it just wrecks the place, and washes away many people. There was one woman that was found in a tree 20 miles from where, and I think she was in the camp with a lot of little girls are still missing, dozens of little girls, and she's a little heavy set. That kept her afloat. Fortunately, sometimes it's you don't know why. She probably didn't like being overweight for most of her life, and this time it actually helped out. So I've been in waters. I sink like a rock. Have a lot of muscle fiber, and it doesn't float well, right? Fat does. So it's and all the little girls, little girls are just little skinny, little muscle, little flesh and bones, and they sink like rocks, So it's very tragic, what happened there. So I think there was cloud seeding that was involved here. I'm going to speak about that. I'm going to show you guys the evidence of that. It's crazy. So this raging storm hit this camp where some 27 children are still among the missing, Camp Mystic Christian summer camp along the river in the middle of the night. The camp was completely destroyed, one of hundreds of campers. So helicopters were, flying around, rescuing lots of these children that were, in different locations all up and down, this pretty much, it was a dry creek, almost like normally a river. I think Guadalupe, something like that, river, but it became a raging river that, rose well beyond its flood stage, probably the largest flood stage it's ever seen in history. So very, very bad situation. So frantic parents, looking for their loved ones. Of course, lots of damage. I'm sure probably a lot of you guys have seen a lot of the damage. I'll show some of that damage here. I showed it on my show last night. I had a feeling this was something about weather manipulation, but before I jump to conclusions, although I do have the intuitions, before I jump to some of these conclusions, I like to do a little research. So the research has come through, and I'm convinced it's cloud seeding, right? So what else would cause something like this, right? Some kind of manipulation. And this is not in our best interest to do the cloud seeding, although there's some groups that believe it is and convince us that it is. I would say from here on out, we should stop it, right? And Marjorie Taylor Greene says, I am introducing a bill that prohibits the injection, release, or dispersion of chemicals or substances into the atmosphere for the express purpose of altering weather, temperature, climate, or sunlight intensity. It will be a felony offense. I have been researching weather modification and working with the Legislative Council for months writing this bill. It will be similar to Florida's Senate Bill 56. We must end the dangerous and deadly practice of weather modification and geoengineering. So there you go. So we have some representative that's trying to, get it out there. Now, in Texas, there were, and I was never a fan of Biden ever. I've been pointing out that pretty much the administration, the Democrats as a whole, will probably go away, completely go away. I think that time is quickly approaching. I'm surprised they have lasted as long as they have, but it is what it is. They're still there. Some people have to get a lot of confirmation. They have to get a lot of evidence before they decide. So let's listen to this clown.
Now the claims are getting even more bizarre. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, a congresswoman of Georgia, is now saying the federal government is literally controlling the weather. We're controlling the weather. It's beyond ridiculous. It's got to stop. Moments like this, there are no red or blue states. There's one United States of America, where neighbors are helping neighbors. Volunteers and first responders are risking everything, including their own lives, to help their fellow Americans. State, local, and federal officials are standing side by side. Let me repeat, no one should make the American people question whether their governments will make this sure that.
So what he really meant to say is no one should question. The American people should not question. All right, so I think we're pretty much done with this. I think we're pretty much done with these traitors and these people that have criminal activity that are going on in our country. And we need to push back on it. We need to push back on it extremely hard, right? Because nothing's getting done. And it's not going to get done unless we start to push, right? And by God, we are going to do that, right? So Texas, rain enhancement, weather modification projects directly over flooded areas near Kerr County, all right? Near Kerr County. All right, it's kind of hard not to get really pissed, right? That's the way I feel sometimes when I put this information out. But here's the evidence. All right, so it is frustrating, to see all of this stuff. We're going to continue to see it. It will continue until we start to push back. So lots of information, rain enhancement. You're seeing all this chat on this. This is on X. Lots of information. We have more and more of this information as keeps coming out. It's very, very frustrating. All right. So geoengineering, cloud seeding, weather manipulation. The Guadalupe River rose 44 feet in just 5 hours, obliterating historical records. Think about that. Texas has 7 state-run weather modification programs, and they're currently active. And just months ago, Texas reported blue rain, and there's video and pictures of that falling from the sky. Does this look like natural weather to you, or are we witnessing weather warfare in real time? Our own government, geoengineering against us. All right. So you're wondering who's behind the weather modification and geoengineering. So traitorous people will be held accountable, I think, within the next year. Right? All right. Huge Marjorie Taylor Greene, like I just talked about, going to ban. So look at this. This guy is basically switching. He's firing the weather modification coming out. This is cloud seeding process in the UAE, United Arab Emirates. And this happens, of course, in the United States. This happens all over the world, guys. Even here in Lake Tahoe, they had a program for cloud seeding to bring in more snow several years ago, right? It didn't work well. When I brought it in, it came in big, though. All right, so consciousness. We, the people, our consciousness, our desires, what we want to manifest is the way this goes going forward, right? We need to stop this, and we need to stop the people that are manipulating this in. All right. So how about a felony, like Marjorie Taylor Greene said? You go out, you start doing cloud seeding. Your government does cloud seeding. It's a federal law. It will be a federal law. So if your government conspires with a weather modification company to weather modify, and they're caught doing that, then everybody involved should be held accountable. And whatever that means, felony charges, you know that the bigwigs, like Governor Abbott, get pushed in his wheelchair into some, nice little clubhouse somewhere for his felony charges. So I don't know. But those guys that are, actually doing the spraying, those guys get put away. So this is the way this crap works. I think it should be, you do the crime, then you're going to stand the time. You're going to do the time, right? So this is the way it's got to work in the future. We need to fix the judicial system. The judicial system is corrupt all over the country. It needs to get jam slammed hard and fixed. Details of the bill. The proposed bill aims to make it a felony to release the chemicals, like I said. The term chemtrails refers to a conspiracy theory that claims the white lines left by aircraft are intentional releases of harmful chemicals. We just saw what was happening. It's real. It's like we've been saying for years. It's real. And reality, so this is AI, Google AI. I'm reading you what they are telling us. They're going along with the same narrative. Because just because it's AI looking at the information, guys, the AI is this is why we have to win, we being the good people, have to win the AI war. If we let China win, we see what China does to its people. All right, they cloud seed the hell out of that place too. And there's flooding beyond anything you saw right there in Texas, way beyond. So it would be not good that we would lose the AI war. But in some cases, some places, like how I'm reading this from Google, it is basically still along the narrative of falsity and lies and misdirection and misinformation. In reality, these lines are called contrails. Yeah, con, because it's a con game, all right? They're conning us with contrails. Yeah, those aren't chemtrails. Those are contrails, right? Which are condensation trails formed by water vapor from aircraft exhaust. There is that. And then there, of course, is weather modification, chemtrails. So if you go deeper in it, this has been going on since World War II, right? When they wanted to, win against the Nazis. So they cloud seeded. And cloud seeding basically, brought in weather so it would mask the landings, right? And then they did cloud seeding to make it clear again. So you can do both. You can make it clear, or you could make it rain. And basically, you're dropping different types of chemicals, aluminum, or as our English friends say, aluminium, into the skies, particles of it, which basically connect with water vapor and then cause rain or snow. The same thing with silver oxide. So there's lots of different ways that they can cloud seed, and they've been doing it for a very long time. Our government's been involved with it for decades and decades and decades, right? They have done the conspiracy theory thing to try and hide what they're doing, because it was the military that was doing it. And now it's private industry, and political parties and so forth are paid off to let it happen, right? So it goes all the way down to down at the city council level, guys. It's not like governors or presidents or mayors or whatever. All the way down to the city council level, they're allowing this weather modification. So we have to demand that it stop. We have to demand that it stops. All right. So blue water, the blue water. And this was what they had months ago. Texans reported blue water coming from their skies. All right. So let me share the screen and show you guys this one. This is very interesting. No, I've seen a lot of this stuff over the years. I reported on it. But here you go.
We're camping in this beautiful state park in Texas, and it's been raining, and the water that's coming out of the sky is blue. And it's not this tarp, because it's happening on this tarp too. Look at that. This is crazy. Are they chemtrailing us in Texas?
Even in Texas. In Texas, the Republic of Texas. So I guess you guys lost your republic, right? All right. But of course, you can get it back, just like those guys did in New York. It can happen on the, the level of the citizen. The citizen can push back. We as a nation, any nation throughout history, we can survive, criminal activity, people coming from the outside to cause problems, but we cannot, and no nation has ever survived treasonous activity from within. Let that sink in. How many people have we had that have been treasonous? Joe Biden, Obama. I mean, the list is long, very long. And then we get down to the governor level, Cuomo, Whitmer, Newsom, the list goes on. And maybe, because I've been saying this for a long time, maybe even Abbott belongs on that list. So anyway, you guys in Texas, have at it. All right, I've given you information. Let's get busy. All right. Earthquakes, guys. Earthquakes are still popping. The information is coming in. It's being shared. I'm sharing it. I'm getting that this needs to be paid attention to type feeling. Now the earthquakes, as you're going to see on this map, this is a U.S. geological earthquake map. It gives you information over time. Gives the information all over the world. But we're just going to look at the Ring of Fire. Now, the setting right here is on 30 days, all magnitudes. Let's go back 7 days, 2+. All right, so you see the Ring of Fire, that red ring, you see where there's activity where it's starting to clump. Look over here in Puerto Rico and Santo Domingo. It's starting to kick off. So the orange ones, if you see red or blue, blue is a big one. Blue's a 4.6 in that area of Japan, where a lot of people have been saying we're going to have a big tsunami, right? We just had some that are traveling around. Let's look at just 1 day so it clears it up a little bit. Just look at the 1 day, all magnitude. All right, see that red one right there? That just happened while I'm talking. And a little bit of Cali. This is really need to be done. All 10.3 goes off. That tsunami, it's going to be big. All right, so let's look at 7 days. So it's going to start to heat up. So this is along the San Andreas Fault. Watch that pop. Oh, that was 4. Let me go 2 point. All right, so starting to get thicker all the way up here in Alaska. They're really starting to get a lot up there in Alaska. Now let's go all the way, all magnitudes. So the little ones can be a release of energy or a build up to something obviously greater. So to basically give you an idea, if you're going to have a 8 earthquake, which is pretty severe, or a 9, I think a 9 you would have to have 26,000 smaller earthquakes in the 2.5, like I'm showing here. A lot of these are 2.5. So you need like 26,000, I believe it is, to reach the same magnitude. So we're not seeing that many. So it is basically a buildup, I believe, and a lot of other people are saying the same thing. So let's look at all magnitude for 30 days. Whoa. This is where things are getting very interesting, because we're seeing a lot of areas getting clusters, like I pointed out over here in between Puerto Rico and Santo Domingo, right? So all along the Mexican, South America, Central America, and then that heavy cluster in Cali, right? And out here towards the Idaho, the Yellowstone Basin area, where that super volcano was at one time. So a lot of it, usually, like I've told you guys, it starts over here in New Zealand. As you see here, it's very heavily clustered, and then rotates around the entire, from this around this direction usually. The big ones can lead, big shallow ones are good because it releases a lot of energy. Deep, big earthquakes, you're going to have to look out for, right? Even here in Middle America, you're starting to see earthquakes. We don't normally get them of this mini. You know, just north of Dallas, Oklahoma is getting a lot of earthquakes, and so is right around the El Paso area. So lots of earthquakes going on in America. What does that lead to? Remains to be seen, right? So I think it remains to be seen that we're going to get some biggies, right? Some very big ones, and they're going to cause a lot of problems. Now, one of the things I like to look at is different energy. So one of the things that seems to happen before a very large event, whether it's a volcano, an earthquake, or hurricane, there's some kind of anomaly in the weather, and there's colors. So in the atmosphere, or in this case, as I'm going to show you, in the water, there can be color variances that are very unusual. And this is basically, I believe, a frequency type thing that's happening. People have said that when we had the Fukushima, there was like all these different colors that were in the atmosphere, and then the major earthquake happened. And this has happened many, many times. We know that animals pick up on these energies and run and hide, run for higher ground. So they pick up on these frequencies. Normal humans don't. I say normal because I've trained myself to pick up on a lot of these. I've been predicting earthquakes and hurricanes quite a bit. So there is a lot of information that's out there. Like where I'm at, you see behind me there, Lake Tahoe. A few weeks ago, there was a crazy storm that came in. It snowed, and it was like summer, right? That's around the first few days of summer. And it snowed, and this massive freak wind came in and dumped tore boats from their moorings, washed them up on shore. One boat was sunk that had a lot of people on board. Eight people died. So there was a woman that was in one area of Lake Tahoe, and she was videoing, and the water was like vibrating, kind of like HAARP. Kind of like HAARP was involved. But she got a recording of it. So we can see these different anomalies and these frequencies and so forth. Some of them manipulated, like chemtrailing, or HAARP, or directed energy weapons, all right? So we've talked about all of these different things. So how is it that if there's so many of us now that know this bullshit keeps continuing, right? I don't get it. But we're going to get to the bottom of this. I promise you. Or are they going to do some kind of crazy event and take a bunch of us out? We'll see. All right, so let's look at this one volcano. You guys might remember. I believe it's pronounced Vanuatu. Vanuatu, there was a huge earthquake, or not earthquake, but a volcano that blew massive. It looked like they shot a missile into it. So they helped it blow. So it was already exploding, and they shot a missile into it, and then it really cooked off, but it didn't have the effect that normally would happen. So it seems like there might have been some intervention, right, somehow, but it should have been a massive tsunami that went around all of the Pacific, Rim nations, but it didn't. So something different happened. So we're seeing something like that happen again.
Hour in the morning, we saw this. People were pointing at it. This is near the Epi Island. Morning, we saw this. People were pointing at it. Part of.
All right. So the grain, like I'm talking about, you see this in the atmosphere just before major earthquakes or volcanic eruptions or major hurricanes. So you see these anomalies, and when you see these anomalies, run like hell. Right?
Material. Then early hour in the morning, we saw this. People were pointing at it. This is near the Epi Island, and the actual volcano is 34 meters under the water. The summit of it is so practically is a stratovolcano underwater, and then this developed into a big ash cloud, evaporating water, creating shards everywhere. Very similar to what we saw in the Kawachi Island, where we saw the bubbling.
All right, so the bubbling, and then you get the that color, or you might get it in the atmosphere. They saw it in the water, and then there's like land starts to come up, like Liberia is starting to come back, maybe. So I think that we might be seeing that. There's a lot of people that saw into the future and saw Earth changes. They saw Lemuria coming back, Atlantis coming back, and then other areas would go asunder. Lands would go, down that were once above, the water, and then they go down. So this has happened throughout time. We can see cities that we found along coastlines that have sunk, right? For whatever reason, whether it's some kind of earthquake activity or, a change in sea levels, whatever has happened, we've been able to find lots of cities underwater. And this is throughout the Mediterranean, in Japan, you name it. There's all these different cities that are underwater. So we may see some of that action. Now, does it happen all at once? In some places, it will happen all at once, yes, on a massive scale. But it won't be like you see those earth change maps. All that won't happen in one day, all right? You will have time to see the devastation coming, and you will leave, kind of like I left Florida, right? So you will have your time, you will have your intuitions, you will have your ability to get out of the big cities, you'll have all these opportunities, and whether you decide to take those opportunities is completely up to you, right? We all have free will, and that's the beautiful thing about, incarnating here on planet Earth. We have free will. Thank you, God, right? So, and if you tap into God, then your free will becomes very effective, becomes very creative, becomes like me sharing information, becomes, on another level, and helps a lot of people, thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people. So it is possible that we can, have a conscious effect on these things from becoming super volatile, but there is definitely change afoot, right? Changes are coming. You can see them. We all see them, obviously. The last 5 years, there's been massive change. We're going to start to see that on the physical realm of the Earth, right? The new MAGA turf war over national intelligence. So Tulsi Gabbard, I think she's doing an absolutely amazing job. She's downsizing the Department of Intelligence, the DNI, Director of National Intelligence. She's downsizing that department. That department got so big and so controlling that it was somewhat bigger than some of the other intel agencies, probably some of the military agencies and so forth. Now, Tulsi Gabbard, of course, was in the National Guard as an intelligence officer, right? She was the one that revealed before anyone else, although there were many of us that were saying it before her, that there were DUMBs and bioweapon labs in Ukraine. And of course, she got a lot of pushback on that, and she was called treasonous, and it didn't stick because the military eventually came out and said, yeah, she's right, because of course she's right. She's in the military. She saw the intel on it. So what a great place, what a great person to have in that particular place, where we know the intelligence agencies, one, are redundant, two, a little self-serving and not really serving the American interest anymore, and then three, in some ways, absolute deep state, right? So the deep state side of that is being cleaned, obviously, everywhere. And she has been doing an incredible job, I think. And I think she's going to continue that incredible job. Now, there are people that are in different agencies, like John Ratcliffe and CIA. That's going to be a really tough nut to crack for him, right? But I think between Tulsi Gabbard and him and Trump and whoever else might come along, so they may be able to clean up the CIA. Now, if they don't, guys, and at some point, whenever Trump leaves office, they're just going to reform and do the same thing to us again, right? We'll have another Biden, and it'll get bad, and another Hillary Clinton. She'll finally get in, or someone like her will get in there. We can't let that happen. We can't let that happen. And we need to help these guys out the most we can. There's a lot of people like Elon Musk, right, that we thought were good. I think he infiltrated, because he's doing all kind of deep state stuff now, right? He was doing deep state stuff before, and then it seemed like he got all good, and then he bought out X, or Twitter, and so I heard from a guy that X basically is, when they use X, the deep state, and there's lots of things they use X in, that is when they have complete control. All right. So for Elon to take that and call it X, now that I'm starting to see some other things about him, I'm like, not that I'm concerned about X. I'm still going to post on there as long as I can, like I did on YouTube, like on this channel that I have. I used to have this 4 years ago, and I was like, hey, I don't think I did anything bad. And they're like, give it back to me. So it was crazy how that happened, right? I don't know. To me, it seems like there's somebody out there that's allowing some of this to get through, like my channel, right? So Tulsi Gabbard, she is cleaning house. John Ratcliffe in CIA, very good man. Probably cleaning up the CIA. It's going to be tough, because those guys are very clever. I can tell you, I work there, and they're gonna push back hard, and they're gonna make it very difficult. And his life is gonna be probably threatened. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's not already happened. I would be surprised if it hasn't happened to Tulsi Gabbard several times already. So it happened to me, and I'm just a dude that started revealing, right? And these guys are way up there. So, it's tough. It's tough to get this stuff through, guys. I know a lot of you guys are frustrated. You've wanted this stuff to happen. A lot of people have been saying it's coming. I think on many, many levels it has been. When I look around at the way things were, going back to where they started to lean on me in a very, very long way, right? An incredible long way. So I hope you guys get involved in that, in the new America that we're creating, because it will be something that will translate to the rest of the world. So we're setting the example, and we're making great things happen. We need to stop the bullshit. Need to stop the chemtrailing, as killing innocent people, those little girls. That should piss you off. All right. It does me. So, flood miracle. So I'm going to play this. I saw this and I was like, holy smokes. That is incredible. So I have there's been times where I've been in training, like it's you take your mind to a consciousness state and you just let go. You don't think about death anymore. Just let go, and miracles happen. I floated down streams that had rocks and everything in them, and I didn't hit any of the rocks. It's like it just put me where I needed to go without any difficulty. I was just in another zone, and I imagine this woman probably went into that zone, right? So it's pretty amazing. 20 miles. Now, of course, most people would have been overcome, I think, and would have given up and wouldn't survive. She obviously had a very strong will to survive. So you have to have that at least. So this woman's 22, swept 20 miles by killer Texas floods and left clinging to a tree.
Year-old woman went into the water in the Ingram, Texas area, which is about 20 miles upstream. So all those parents who are waiting for word, there's one miracle story that a woman who was swept away up there.
All right. So amazing. 22-year-old woman was scooped up by fast-moving water from her campsite in Kerr County, Texas, by deadly flash floods at 4 a.m. That's when these criminals like to do this stuff, guys. They like to catch people off guard, and they like to kill a lot of people. It's a game for them. They're psychopaths. All right, so we have to get them out. The Obamas, the Bidens, the Bushes. These people are criminal psychopaths, and we have to get them out, and we have to have them stand justice. So here's a picture of this woman. All right, so Guadalupe River, after being swept 20 miles downstream, she ended up in this tree. Now, this tree, as you guys can see, is a big tree, and there's still some floodwater down here. Let me see if I can get some pictures in here for you. But it was very high up. I don't know how high that was, probably 40, 50 feet, right? And she was way up in the tree. I guess she was at the peak of the flood, and she just, like fast moving water, just finally got a place where she could cling, and she clung to that tree up there, and she started shouting, and then people heard her. This guy right here heard her. He's like kind of local, his home was right in that area, and he came out and got it was tough because there was a lot of people needed rescue. So he finally got some rescue guys there, and they came in with a helicopter and rescued her. Unfortunately, here's two little girls that are missing. Here's some of the devastation, as you guys can see. It just took cars and just like tumbled them and just ripped everything apart. There's another little girl that's missing. Another one's missing. And remember why they're missing. Why they're missing. So here's the Camp Tragedy. These areas right here along the Guadalupe River. Camp Mystic. So children's vacation spot. Camp Mystic was swamped by flash floods. All right, so here's some of the pictures. So this is morning. So you have light. So imagine it's dark, 4 a.m. and the water is a lot higher and it's moving a lot faster. Wow. All right, this is a cabin that's floating in the water. It was ripped off its foundation and floating in the water. So, all right, chemtrailing, it's a real thing. 7 operations going on in Texas. As you guys saw, it was the blue water in one of those around those Texas campgrounds. I promise you, no one's going to pay for this. We can scream, we can holler, but they have control, guys. They have control of the media. They have control of the judicial system. The only way this gets fixed is if we scream loud, so loud they get tired of the screaming, and somebody starts to do something, right? But it is horrific what goes on, right? We, the people, have to fix this, and that's the only way it gets fixed, if we get involved. So you mama bears out there, I know those little girls gonna, hit your heartstrings. So maybe that's usually what kicks this off. Then the papa bears by the mama bears, get up there and get busy. All right. President Trump and First Lady danced during DC fireworks show. I thought this was beautiful. You guys would like this. It'd cheer you up, right?
Lady, all smiles while watching DC's Independence Day fireworks show from the White House. President Trump was seen doing his famous dance on the Truman balcony, and then Melania, the First Lady, joins in to watch. Let's watch.
Oh, even President Trump liked that one. Who wouldn't? I mean, Melania's like the most beautiful First Lady we've ever had, right? So very classy. It's cool.
Yeah, we were watching live last night, and that was just such a candid moment. The couple having a blast on America's 249th birthday, the two even sharing a kiss as fireworks lit up the National Mall.
That's how you know that it's a good time. If you can get Melania, the First Lady, to join in on that dance, then you know.
Yeah, that was my favorite part of the whole fireworks show, is seeing this really candid moment between the First Lady and the President.
All right. That's beautiful, right? So there is beauty. You can find beauty in everything. And one of those things that's beautiful is U.S. workers account for all the job gains in 2025, right? So President Trump, bringing jobs back to America, the economy, it's the economy, stupid, right? So you gotta take care of the economy. If you don't, then you lose, right? So President Trump will probably have some setbacks in the economy, but that's because, and I think he'll make that clear, that certain areas of the economy have to be cleansed up. There's talk of possibly, because there's fencing that's going up around the Federal Reserve, that he's going to do away the Federal Reserve and basically have it come back to the nation. So that would be a massive move in the right direction. Obviously, I think that's what we're going to see. When that happens remains to be seen, but I think it's coming. He's going to get pissed off at the craziness that's going on with the Federal Reserve, keeping rates high. Why do they keep them high? Because they're destroying the American economy by keeping them high. And Trump is giving them the ability to expose themselves so that when he makes his move, everybody's like, take it, take him, take him. Take them, Marjorie Taylor Greene, put out that felony charge for anyone doing the chemtrailing. Let's get it done. So how do we get that done? We call up our congressmen, men, women, and we say, we want that chemtrail bill pushed through. Don't F it up. We're watching, right? So that could be the thing that, makes it go through, guys, by our involvement and, rocking this through. I don't care who does it. Marjorie Taylor Greene's got a little suspect to me, but hey, they all do something good. If she does something good, right? You did something good, right? I'll forgive some of the dumb shit you've done then, right? So I don't know. Maybe that's why she does it, and maybe she does it so she exposes stuff. Why does Tucker Carlson all of a sudden go stupid? I don't know. Or Candace Owens, why does she all of a sudden go stupid? Because they're pushing some kind of agenda like Elon Musk, right? So we have to pay attention to those people that have gotten involved with us. And we love them now. They've done great things, but they're infiltrators and they're trying to destruct us. You see how President Trump has turned on Elon now? At first, I thought it was just a game the two of them were playing, but I think it's serious. I think it's serious now. I think that Trump saw that Elon was coming in to try and take him down. And what's that one thing that Trump, I heard this on a show yesterday with Roseanne Barr. She basically had gentleman on that's been on. He's like wrote the Matrix, Tom Outhouse. So he basically talked about how Outhouse is not, maybe it's not Outhouse, something like that. I don't think it's Outhouse, but Althouse. Sorry, Tom. So Tom Althouse kind of sounds like it. My mind's like just kicks it out, like kick it out. It's good. So, yeah, too many bombs, too many. So anyway, so Tom Althouse was saying, and I looked at Elon real hard after Tom Althouse informed me that Tom Althouse was supposed to be the Elon Musk. He was chosen for that, but he pushed back on the system, and Elon was chosen to be the multi-billionaire. So he points out a lot of stuff, and he pointed out that that Elon had infiltrated, and he was trying to corrupt President Trump. So I'll let you guys go watch that show that Tom Althouse and Roseanne Barr did together. Very, very good show. And Roseanne, we look forward to having you on our show, and or I'll go on your show, or we'll do both. So it'll be good. So that'll be fun. We'll have some nice conversations too. All right, guys. That's all I got for now. Stay in the love vibration, because that's how we bring these clowns down. We're very creative. That love, when you focus it on some of these people, it destroys them. Right? So when you see some people go away, you can go, I bet Mike was sending him love. Probably right. Right? All right, guys. Lots of love. Keep the love vibration going, and we'll see you guys next time.